Okay, so I said that I was going to vlog writing this new book, basically for nobody else other than myself. And if you want to come along on this journey, that's great. So the first live I did was actually on Wednesday when I was writing the book proposal. I just had a meeting with a publisher. And I've since got the feedback back from the publisher in terms of the proposal. So I haven't even got a deal with the publisher yet. This is just about like the proposal stage. First reality is concise as a dyslexic. Like the book proposal is really tricky. I know exactly in my head what this book is going to be about. I know exactly who it's going to help, but it's articulating that through the proposal to the potential publishers that may or may not take it on, but B, that is relevant because if I'm not articulating it clearly, it's going to mean that the audience isn't going to know, it's not going to know who I'm writing it for, and it's going to be really difficult to market. And that's kind of got me thinking about marketing in general. So I run a business that, Dyslexic Life with Jo Reese, and do lots on social media. And I've created all sorts of things in the past, all sorts of products in the past. I've had loads of courses and things. One of the things that I'm doing at the moment is I'm working with a couple of coaches, actually, not just one coach, but I'm working with a couple of coaches at the minute to kind of help me with my brand, but also with my visibility, but also in terms of making my business a bit more viable, because it isn't at the moment. And at the moment, if it continues how it is, I won't be able to keep doing what I'm doing for much longer. It's one of the reasons why I really want to get the book out there, because even though I've self-published 2 books, I think it will help with my authority, but also in people recognizing me as an expert if I manage to get a published book. And so I've been doing a lot of work on that in the background, I guess. So actually thinking about the proposal for the book is actually helping me think about my marketing and my messaging in general, which is quite interesting because I've got 2 incredible courses at the moment that the people that have gone through them have had like insane transformations, like tangible transformations that have made a really big difference. For example, a child that started the Young Person's Empowerment Program, literally we are a week in, and I had a message from the parent yesterday to say engaged, independent, confident. This was a child who, prior to buying the empowerment program, the parent couldn't get them to do anything. And actually, they bought the empowerment program, and already within a week, they are 1 task in, and they've seen this transformation with their child in terms of tackling the program, which is brilliant. The dyslexic boot camp that I've got, people have resigned from their jobs going through that. They're advocating for themselves more confidently. They understand how dyslexia is showing up for them. Their visibility is massively improved. Like, I know that these things make the difference, but it's getting the messaging out there. So I guess that's the first thing I need to talk about. So I don't think it's not going to be as easy to create the book proposal, I don't think, as I first thought, let alone get it through. But, I'm honestly blogging this journey with you. So, if it doesn't get accepted, you'll know that it doesn't get accepted, and I will self-publish it or perhaps pitch it to a different publisher, but you'll know first if you're following this. I think the other thing, going back to kind of like the business, the thing that I've realized is going to be tricky. So initially I was like going to do a little book update every day because I'm going to chip away at the book every day, which I absolutely have been doing. But one of the things that is going to be challenging, I'm predicting it already, is balancing out writing the book with keeping up with the everyday work that does actually generate the income. Because I need to keep the business ticking over. I need to keep doing dyslexia assessments and writing reports. We know that writing reports drain my brain. So actually 2 lots of writing a day it's going to be tricky. So that is going to be a juggle. So I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to get my head around that yet, but it is something I'm predicting is going to be tricky, and is going to need a bit of thought. how am I going to write a book and run a business? But then on top of that, one of the reasons why I haven't managed to get to this live every day is because this live stream every day or update the book every day is because of my own children, because I'm also a parent. And even though my children are teenagers, they still need me sometimes, and they have to be priority above everything. So there's just a little bit of juggling, unjuggling, kind of navigating and finding a way through it. I think that's going to be interesting. But that's where we are with the book. Positively, since I last did a live, I've actually interviewed one more person and I've booked 3 more people in. Yeah, I've booked 3 more people in for interviews. And there's already some really helpful recurring themes that are coming across time and time again. And I don't know if I went into the depth. I don't think I did in the first live stream. I don't think I went into what the book is going to be about. And I'm going to share that now. So, because I think it's going to help me clarify my thinking, if nothing else. So basically, the book, I feel like I'm in a really unique position. So I feel like the reason why I've managed to navigate the education system, not easily, but efficiently with my own children, has been because of my unique experience. So I was an undiagnosed dyslexic in education. I'm now a diagnosed dyslexic. That has helped me with my parenting. So I've got the dyslexic perspective and a parent perspective, but I was also a classroom teacher. I was also a SENCO, and I was also a specialist working for the local authority. I understand those 5 perspectives. I can stand in the shoes of all 5 of those people and know the viewpoint of the other person that I'm speaking to, because I've also stood in that job role shoes. So not that individual shoes, but that job role shoes. So that is a pretty powerful place to come from. And I know that I want this book to have 5 sections. But one of the things that I have been asked is, who is this book for? And this book is definitely for parents. It's for parents. It's a guide to help them navigate and understand education so that they can empower themselves and their own children to get through the education system in one piece. So it's definitely going to be a guidebook for parents. I definitely want all of the perspectives in it, because I feel like there's something to be said for understanding the struggles that each viewpoint, because I think sometimes as parents, if you're not a teacher, you don't appreciate the struggles, the things that classroom teachers are coming up against. And rightly or wrongly, it's not all about your child. So as the parent, rightly, your child is your most important priority. But actually, when you're a classroom teacher, your child might not be that teacher's priority. And we need to talk about why that is. And I feel like in order for parents to navigate the system and build relationships with teachers positively, they need to have a bit of an understanding of what a teacher is dealing with on a day-to-day basis. But they also need to understand what a teacher's role is in supporting dyslexia. So yeah, the questions, I've got the most amazing person helping me with the book proposal. And I'm not going to share who that is yet, because I just feel like it's wrong. But at such a point I get a publishing deal, I will share with you who that person is and who the company is. But yeah, lots of questions about being more concise about audience and that coming across in a book proposal. So it's back to the drawing board for a minute. So we've got to be resilient. It's not rejection. It's about kind of tweaking it and thinking about it and talking it through. Interestingly, I've got a free live masterclass coming up in a few weeks' time for parents. So I think that's going to help me kind of clarify my thinking as well, see what sort of questions they ask, which will help me know how I kind of need to pitch the book, if you like. And it's crazy because I talk about it all the time. I know that I really help and impact parents, but it's turning that into the written word, which isn't necessarily easy, is it, when we are dyslexic, because we use a lot of vocabulary. Anyway, that's the update. It's not a daily update, but it is an update. I'm sticking with it. I am determined I'm going to vlog this journey. And like I say, if nobody watches it, I don't really care. This is so I can see how far I've come. I think it's going to help me identify the barriers. Sometimes if we know what the barriers are, that can help us be reflective and navigate ways around them. So yeah, that's where we're at on Sunday, the 22nd of June. Hopefully there'll be another update in a couple of days' time and there will be more news. But this is where we are right now. Have a great Sunday and talk to you guys soon.